All right. Sorry about that, guys. I mean, I apologize on the whole glitchiness. I apologize on that whole thing. But yeah, me and my friend John. I mean, I agree with his opinion on his whole view on Batman. I agree his opinion on what he truly thinks. Hell, I'm even happy that he's giving Robert Pattinson a chance. But yet again, back in going when I was originally intentioned to talk about the suicides, not suicide, the Flash, fucking hell. The whole, I was about to say Suicide Squad, but yeah. Talking about a bit of the Flash movie, I mean, Jesus Christ. What are you trying to do? What the fuck are you trying to go for? It's kind of stupid. Just seeing the bullshit what's going on right now. And I really personally feel like, you know, really should not say the whole part where we're gonna have a one dumbass or should I say two dumbass characters and one superpower character. And I'm like, so you're basically putting in that implying that we're going to have Supergirl, should I say? Because yet again, I was going to say Superman, and we're going to do the factor of we're going to have this direction, but yeah, we would rather go for with another direction and just piss off more fans. It's stupid, it's dumb, and I just personally feel like, you know, there's a reason why Marvel is getting the success that they truly deserve. And there's a reason why Marvel is getting, you know, the love and passion about everything. And that's why I love about it. That's why I love about Marvel, where they stick to their guns and they're taking a lot of things from the comics, and that I could agree with. I could agree with sci-fi comedy. Yeah, nostalgia pandered, pretty much that. And I guarantee you this. Hardcore. Get ready to do that. Fucking yours truly. Fucking yours truly. I don't want to say it, but I'm gonna say it. Cash grab of fucking the goddamn nostalgia pandered, literally forced down your throat everything that DC movies have done. That pisses me off. That insults my intelligence to where they're going to do Infinite Crisis. They're going to do all that shit in one basket, and they ultimately will ruin it. Meanwhile, Marvel has a plan. Actually, have a plan, and now everything's. And granted, I'm like, you're gonna have that moment when you see fucking yours truly. You're gonna have yours truly. Uh, the X Men Fox actors. You're gonna have those. Fucking go, bitch. Sorry, you're gonna have all those X Men actors that coming in to uh, surprise their role, and I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, granted, I heard rumors uh, coming into pretty much uh, play Magneto, and it's very insulting. It's very insulting to where you turn your fucking camera off. All right, that's good now.
Right.
And I personally feel like, am I glitching right now?
Yeah, you're glitching.
Oh, God damn. What about now?
Yeah, I feel better now, but
All right. All right. Anyway, back to what I was saying. I mean, like, for
maybe I'll
me,
turn the camera off for this one.
turn your fucking camera off. But I mean, like, for
There we
me,
go.
and this is something I personally I believe, I wanted to see a day and age, like I'll just say this: I want a day and age where we see a proper Bat family. I mean, granted, we're getting that in a fucking video game, which I'm super looking forward to.
Night.
Because I'm
next year.
Gotham Knights. I mean, like that is going to be great. I cannot wait to play it. I cannot wait to play Red Hood. I cannot to play Batgirl, which is I love Batgirl because I mean, with her and Barbara Gordon and just like the whole part where she's taking two lives and she's inspired by Batman, and you know it really kind of embraces that whole theme of Batman inspires others, and it really kind of makes you, yeah, and also that too, and it just goes forward to show that whole direction. And granted, you can even say even Titans kind of take influence on that because Titans in that whole show where you had Dick Grayson be in Gotham City, he's going to be the better Batman. He's going to be the better Batman for that show in that city. And it just makes you excited for the future. And also, they nailed, and I mean, they nailed Jason in Robin form and Red Hood form. Oh,
some people are pissed that this is probably the Scarecrow. Some people are pissed about that.
Oh, what did they do? I didn't watch. Oh, are you talking about episode 5?
Yeah.
Well, what did they do?
Basically, some people are pissed that he just puppet the Scarecrow.
Well, to be fair, he was a puppet in fucking Gotham Knights.
Arkham Knight.
Did you really think? Yeah, I mean, no, yeah. Thanks for correcting me. Yeah, he was a puppet in Arkham. He was a puppet in Arkham Knight. I mean, who gives a fuck? I mean, we all knew that was probably going to end up happening. That's another thing too. We all knew that was probably going to end up being the case. And also another thing is they kind of established that already, Tevya, because in the in the first episode, there was a little bit elements of yours truly, Arkham Knight.
Yep.
And granted, I hated the idea, but yet again, I'm starting to accept the idea of having Jason before he becomes Red Hood. He became something else, and that could have been really good. In the middle direction. I hated the comic book version of it. That's all I'll say. Marvel had to bring other studios and other stuff. But and I'll say this. I'll just say this. Marvel, they had other studios, and for both the good, the bad, and the downright fucking. The downright goddamn ugly, shoot my fucking self and blow my brains out. Meanwhile, Warner Brothers sent around only 2 characters:
Batman, Superman.
And then now they're starting to do other characters, even though they should have done Wonder Woman so long ago.
Yeah, that ain't funny.
And I'm gonna say this. You could. My friend Kitch, I hope he watches this. I'm going to link it to his video. I'm going to say this. Without Zach, we wouldn't have Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman. I will say this right now. And also the reason why Marvel didn't do a Black Widow movie is because they were too afraid to do a Black Widow movie.
That I promote CEO more with an asshole. We don't sell the business.
No, I don't believe that. I personally believe that Marvel was just too afraid because it's not just it's not just other people. No, it's just the factor of they knew they took a lot of risk on Guardians of the Galaxy and other characters, but I personally in that belief of if they had the opportunity to pretty much have yours truly Black Widow coming in and having her trilogy and go forward, she is going to have a either successful or bombed movie. And granted, yes, the movie didn't make as much money because of the pandemic.
Bullshit.
And to be fair, I heard even a recent report if Shang-Chi doesn't make a profit, a profit where Disney, that I can agree. That I agree.
Well,
they were too afraid. Yeah, they were too afraid of where it was going to be an Electro film.
Yeah, that's Foxy
and
bullshit.
And to be fair, yeah, I know that, but tell you, it's the same thing. There hasn't been a successful female movie. There hasn't been.
The comic genre, that is not true, but inside the comic genre, you're right with that.
I mean yeah, I agree. Yeah, the comic book genre is the only thing. I mean, when you look at it, she's the only. Wonder Woman is the first. It's kind of like the first Superman movie. If the first Superman movie was a failure, we wouldn't have the comic movies right now. Yeah, I mean, like, we wouldn't have Batman. We wouldn't have anything. It would just be totally non-existent.
That's what you don't know.
It's the same thing with the whole factor with Wonder Woman. She was the start of, okay, this is the beginning of good female superhero movies. That's why we got Captain Marvel. We got yours truly,
Black
Widow, and we're getting She-Hulk, which we should have introduced her the long run, and we're getting Miss Marvel. I mean, like, granted, I'm happy that we're getting the characters that I really like, but granted, some of them should have been already introduced, like She-Hulk. Mm-hmm. I really feel I really feel that it's a crime and insulting to my own intelligence that we never got to see a direction of Hulk had a trilogy. They introduced the Grey Hulk, which was the original intentions to do in Age of Ultron, which either Kevin Feige or someone disagreed. Someone disagreed on what Joss Whedon was trying to do. And granted, I really wanted the Grey Hulk because Grey Hulk is a different personality to the Hulk mythos.
Red Hulk is more from a loss.
Huh?
Red Hulk is different from a loss. Grey Hulk, like you mentioned, is a different personality. Joe fix it.
Yeah, exactly. But yet again, I'm just saying, with the whole Grey Hulk and Green Hulk, you could have had a good direction with that whole thing. My problem is, and my personal belief is, I fucking hated the fact that they didn't do the Hulk trilogy. Yep. And it bothers me. It fucking bothers me. I mean, granted, there have been talks, what I've heard on rumors and everything between, they're going to do a Disney Plus Hulk show where we're going to introduce the Hulk family because Scar is supposedly going to end the She-Hulk show. Abomination.
That didn't make sense. Scar can't exist because Scar didn't get blown up.
No, tell me. Actually, it can. Because if they introduce him where Hulk had sex during the time frame when he left Earth and crash landed to that one planet.
Yes,
and met the what's her name in
the police lady? I forget her name because she got blown up.
Yeah, exactly. If you know the story of Planet Hulk, you know what I'm talking about, where he was a gladiator and he falls in love with the woman that tried to kill him.
Yep.
In a way. I mean, and granted, it was a great love story. It was a great. I mean, to tell you the truth, I mean, you could have left the Hulk there and just do stories on that alone. You could have where Hulk never came back. Hulk is peaceful, and you could have where the Avengers come to him. Granted, it's my own little bit of what if story. The Avengers come to him, and I heard, and his original intentions was very, very lackluster. He was not going to introduce none of the Hulk villains. He was pretty much doing the what the '70s show was, what the Hulk '70s show.
Oh, gee, Hellboy director. What? What?
Yeah, the okay. Del Toro wanted to do a Hulk show that's very drama centric,
Oh, I know about
and
that.
it was going to be the whole aspect of I have a curse inside. I have this monster inside of me and all that, which is great at one hand, but yet again, it would have been super
Very limited.
Yeah, and also another thing is too with the saddest part. Now, granted, I let go of the Hulk '70s show, take a back seat because I'm like, I could give it flack on like just centering around the Hulk and his problems because you didn't have the technology to do
Yeah,
Abomination.
Taylor wasn't there yet.
She-Hulk. I mean, you didn't have that. Granted, there were talks to do She-Hulk and other stuff in that show, but it just would have never worked. It just never would have worked, and it's the only thing that that show really did a great job is they centered around the drama aspect. And it was such a great drama. Granted, the actor who played the Hulk in that show is kind of a bit of a dick because I'm like, you don't understand. I'm like, yeah, you're a bodybuilder, but you don't get it. You don't look at it like a comic book character. You don't look at it the comic book character. You just look at it the character that you played that was very much a drama show. This is a comic book show. This is like comic book stuff. We're introducing these characters in the comics, from the comics, in such a degree that I mean, people are very looking forward to it. I mean, I'm looking forward to the whole part where we get introduced Maestro because Maestro is always that potential 50-50 is that the future Hulk? You get what I'm saying?
Future Hulk. Yeah, I get Future Imperfect.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. And also hearing, according from the actor himself, I agree. I mean, like, it's just it's kind of stupid if you ask me.
I blame Universal on their bullshit. They have the rights.
Universal is. I'll just say this. I blame that the most because when I look at Universal, I'm like, they are definitely the responsible. And yet people say, why do they have the rights of the character? Because every time it's kind of a bit of the whole thing. Every time that character appears in a Marvel movie, they keep the rights. They keep their share. They have.
It's the reason why we got Transformers the baby game. Fox wanted to keep that before, like shit. Like do I do it? Quick, we need to rip this movie quick and fast. But fuck you idiot!
Not just do. Tevya, Marvel was okay to pretty much said to like, hey, you can keep Fantastic Four, you can keep Daredevil. We'll take Galactus, we'll take Silver Surfer, we'll do all that shit because we will do it better. And 20th Century Fox pretty much said, no, fuck you. We'll do Fantastic Four. You keep doing like fuck you. I mean, and granted, I hate 20th Century Fox. I hate that fucking piece of shit studio. And when they got bought by fucking Disney, I'm like, oh, okay, now wait for the future. I know it's going to be fantastic. Oh, it's going to be so good just to see yours truly, the Fantastic Four done right. But it's also a bit of a crime and the shame that we look at Marvel on some of the other characters, and it's just, I mean, when I look at a lot of things, I'm looking at a minority audience. A lot of them are very much, let's say, Marvel ended, for the first phase of, or should I say, the first saga of Marvel on how they are going to do their universe and everything between on that whole thing. But the biggest crime and the shame is people don't understand that that's just only the beginning. The true next stuff is the multiverse aspect. I will not be surprised that Marvel Studios just absolutely does another universe as, let's say, okay, we're ending the Marvel universe, but we're pretty much doing another universe to where the Marvel
The
universe
Ultimate Universe.
yeah, in a way, yeah, exactly. To where we establish the MCU as like part of like a bigger universe. We can get away with the whole we're ending the Marvel universe, but we're slowly transitioning to this new universe that's going to take the newer characters that we love, Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, and all these characters in a newer take. And I'll say this: the time will come when we take Spider-Man fully, because I'm going to say this right now: I don't see Sony lasting that much longer. I mean, the next how many years? How many years that Sony has to hold that character? I mean, before they get bought, we're living in a different age and everything. Um, uh, if they had the rights, they don't have to. Yeah, I mean, like, granted, I mean, if they had the rights, you would have probably had this: X-Men, Fantastic Four, Iron Man, Spider-Man, Thor, Captain America, pretty much beginning phases of the Marvel universe. You would have had X-Men, you would have had Fantastic Four, you would have had almost everybody in the first phase. And that's pretty much what we're probably going to end up doing in the next Marvel universe once we replace the MCU, because it will happen. I know a lot of people don't want to think that it will happen. How much? I'm going to say this: what do we do after Secret Wars? What do you do after that? Nothing, unless you do it introducing the whole factor of the multiverse and slowly transitioning to the newer universe, or you do it where let's throw in the X-Men universe. Let's throw in some of the the X-Men universe where the Fox X-Men bring in the X-Men from X-Men First Class down to the newer continuity of Marvel. You get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Ignored X-Men Apocalypse, ignored
Dark Phoenix.
Dark Phoenix. Just bring those actors in for those movies.
Mm-hmm.
I think personally we'd be just fine. I think, and that's just if they want to do that direction. That's just if they could just fucking say no, we're not doing any of that shit. They could
Fuck
be a part of.
We'll do it ourselves.
We're gonna do our own selves. I mean, granted, I really want the actress who plays I really want the actress from yours truly, Shadowhunters, to play Jean Grey. Oh God, I would just be losing. And granted, I have such a crush on her because I mean she's such a great actress and really good. Just she could play the teen. Well, Marvel will probably retcon the OG, all the OG, or
the point is post Secret Wars.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. That's the part I don't know. I mean, like, what I'm probably just thinking. I mean, I'm just thinking of like all the possibilities. Granted, I wouldn't be surprised the what if characters come in live action. The whole Captain Carter, dude. Don't tell me that she's not going to show up in Secret Wars. She is going to show up. I guarantee you we'll probably see Robert Downey Jr. and the actor who plays Captain America. Fuck, I forgot his name.
Evans?
Chris Evans. I think we'll see them one more time. Because I truly feel like in both, and I mean both the characters that we know. I'm granted, it would be kind of funny how we're just going to bring Tony Stark from that Robert Downey Jr. played from a different continuity or a different movie to where, oh, he appeared in Iron Man 2. Okay, we'll just strip him down to where we're at right now and pretty much establish everything, what he did, on what he sacrificed and everything between on that stuff. And we'll do Superior Iron Man along doing Captain Hydra and all that crap.
Oh, man, I would purely pissed if the Jew Secret Empire.
No. Well, that I could see, because also you could do. I do believe that. I actually think that it would be great, because think about what they're doing right now in the whole aspect of that one fucking character.
U.S. agent?
Huh?
U.S. agent?
No, U.S. agent. Granted, he could be Captain Hydra. He could be Captain.
That would make sense. I'll be up for it. I think it would make sense to do that.
Granted, I mean, the reason why I say Captain Hydra for Captain America is because the different multiverse. True. Because they establish when Kang said, not all people like me, not all versions of me were just pure heart. Not all people like me were very good. Some of them were selfish. Some of them were just straight up fucking assholes. And I'm like,
these scumbags.
So therefore, you're establishing this new character. Therefore, you're establishing there are different versions of ourselves in different multiverses. And you could have that aspect in that whole direction. You could have a direction where, okay, I get where you're going with this, and this could tease with the Superior Iron Man and Captain Hydra to where the Avengers were actually the villains of the story, and the villains of the MCU were the heroes. And granted,
an X-Men story I think God did this premise. I forget which one. Let me tell
you, did you see Onslaught coming back? I mean,
yeah, I did. I actually like that story.
I was going to do a video on that whole thing. I'm like, oh, we are establishing Onslaught. I mean, I get it. I mean, let's bring a few fans that know about that character. But I mean, it's kind of stupid, if you ask me. I mean, like, I'm okay with Rogue wearing her 90s outfit, which I truly believe that's her best costume, if you ask me. Yep. Out of all her costumes, that's the one I really like. But granted, I like the part where she's not wearing the jacket. I just personally feel like she's gorgeous without the jacket. But I mean, and also I'm so happy Gambit and Rogue got married. Oh, that's one of the best. That's one of the best decision makings that Marvel has done over the years. After the multiverse saga, they'll probably do a reboot, and the what if show.
Yeah, how it went from the beginning.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's something I truly believe. And also another thing is, tell you the truth, I personally feel like Sony is gonna give the rights to Marvel. Oh, give the right. Oh, yo, dude. Hey, man, what's going on, John? What's going on? It's probably, hey, you want to come back in, John, or something, or are you just watching? We're just talking about both Marvel, DC, and just everything, because we're just talking about everything. And shout outs to my good friend. What pissed me off? I mean, he's a good friend of mine. He does really good fan films, and he also has great opinions on everything. But it's just the facts are. I look at a lot of things from Marvel, and I just feel like, from Marvel's direction, what do you do after this? And the only logical aspect is two aspects. Either continue where you're going forward for the future and establish in a way where the MCU, or should I say the Marvel Cinematic Multiverse now, is like a Star Wars. They could endless possibilities as everything, and they could do so much in the Marvel multiverse direction to where we could do any other character. We could do a new take on Iron Man, and we could just
make it part of my favorite character. And
that too. We could do a Spider-Girl. We could do all this stuff, and it will be no one will bitch about it. No one will bitch about it because we're doing the right direction. And yet
Also,
again,
329 finally. Shiva
that
129.
too. I mean, and that's another thing too. I always like love to see the future of the Marvel universe because I mean, like, imagine just having a whole trailer of you think you saw the golden age of heroes. You saw the original Avengers, the Fantastic Four, the new Avengers, and everything. The whole Marvel universe as we know it. But in the year 2099, we have a new age, a new era begins. And it shows Spider-Man. It shows Spider-Man 2099 kicking some ass, fighting Venom 2099. You even show the Avengers. You even show the X-Men. Oh my God!
Weird. Yeah.
But yet again, you could establish that stuff. You could do things that people would be just be like, wow! It would be the newest take on Marvel on a Marvel movie that I personally feel like would be groundbreaking. Would be groundbreaking, and yet again, people would love the shit out of it because people would see this is the future of the Marvel universe, and they'll be banging that door. Hey, Warner Brothers, where's our fucking Batman? Where's our shit? Where's our fucking Batman movie? Look at Marvel. They're doing the future Spider-Man. They're doing the future Avengers. You dumb fucking clowns. And then they ultimately do Batman Beyond just because of that. I would be laughing my shit off if they did that just to capitalize on what they're doing. Just to capitalize what they're going for. And it just really kind of makes me hoping that happens because I would have killed to see a Batman Beyond live action. I really feel like the technology would be there. I really want Bendis' favorite characters.
Captain Century Spider-Man. Won it. Oh, yeah, won it. You have to read it. Did that any phone? Not Moon It. That's an ultimate phone.
I think like, we'll tell you the truth, Bendis he's a good writer. I just feel like with Bendis, it's like, you get hatred because that one book.
What's this?
Oh yeah, Mr. Nostalgia Pander. I mean, I'm sorry, guys, but I mean, like me and Teddy always have a little bit of like, debatable opinions on that. I mean, if you don't know, I personally feel like DC should have done better stories with the New 52 continuity, but not just cave into the haters. But yet again, that's a whole different subject. I mean, I don't want to get into, and I don't want to fucking talk about it.
We talk about that subject at this point.
But I really am looking forward to what they're doing on what we'll love to see. Oh yeah, I'd love to see. Yeah, I agree. I mean, granted, I mean,
Avengers, you know.
Wait.
What's the better character so much? Well, it's only one character, Sentry, but Sentry, one of his characters, is such a mess.
Sentry is such a fucking wuss. I mean, that's another thing too. I mean, like they would have to change that character. I do not like, and some people bitch about Drax. Some people bitch about certain directions on Star-Lord. Here's the thing: you can complain about that stuff all you want, but that's
be scared at the very beginning. Like no one knew what he was, except for
and that's another thing. And to be fair, let's go on to Iron Man. Let's go with my character, Iron Man. Tony Stark. He's not Robert Downey Jr. If people really saw the Tony Stark from the comic book character to that roots to that character, nobody would have probably ended up liking him.
True. He's an asshole at the very beginning.
He's an asshole. He could be a selfish dick. He could be a downright hateful character to read.
Yep.
Or he could play, or in a way, he could be a cool character to read if you see him just as a superhero.
Yep.
It's my favorite. Oh, okay. Oh, that's your favorite. That's your favorite Avengers team.
Nice.
Okay. All right. I can see where you're going. My favorite Avengers team is it's pretty much the okay. I'll just say I'll just pretty much name off these members: Iron Man, Thor, uh, fucking
Captain America.
no, Captain America was not in this team. I grew up with comic books that were not in this team. Oh, I'm gonna try to pull this up. Let me try to pull this up. It was during the Avengers Defenders War. It was during that whole aspect. My father read that stuff, and hold on, I'm just trying to find it. It was during the time period in Captain America's history where he was nomad, where he was not Captain America. It was during that time period where he was not part of the Avengers. And I'm trying to find it. Hold on, just give me a minute. It's 8, 7,
in the 80s, I remember saying well.
No, it was 70s, 80s type direction. Hold on. It was Yellow Jacket, and the fuck. I'm trying to find the members. Hold on. Granted, it kind of changed everything on certain number. Where's that? Where's that whole team? Fuck. I'm trying to find a good cover just to show you what I'm talking about.
Okay.
I'm just fuck it. This is close enough for you. You're probably ever gonna get.
Okay.
Just hold on. Just give me 1 minute. I'm trying to find a good enough picture. No. There's a comic website, My Comic Shop, that pretty much shows all the Avengers members.
Try sharing it when you find it.
I already got it. Yeah. All right. Just show this. Okay. Share screen's done. All right. This is what my event. See the first panel of the whole thing?
Mm-hmm.
That's what my Avengers was. Yeah, Captain America was there later on, but he showed up later on in the Avengers to where he showed up later on in the Avengers when he was accepted as Captain America again. And that's one of the best things about that time period where the Avengers did its own little thing. Fuck me. Spawn, King of Spawn, near mental. Fuck me. I'm gonna try to close that shop because I get very, let's say, hungry for comics, and I really want to buy some comic books, but it's just recent pandemic kind of prevented that crap. And also restraints and planning to move, and you're doing all that stuff and paying bills.
I understand. Life comes first.
And life comes first and family stuff, and you put that your entertainment, like say in the internet or whatever, or even you have to buy video games just to pick and choose what you want to buy. And I'm buying a lot of stuff for my birthday this week. But nice. I mean, I just care, and that's another thing too. Please support a lot of the books. I mean, it's just recommend it to your friends. Recommend anything. Just I really want to support these characters and have these characters grow. Like for me, it's downright insulting to my own intelligence that we don't have another ongoing series with War Machine. Maybe that will change later on, and we'll get a Armor Wars book where we have War Machine facing Crimson Dynamo, Blizzard, Titanium Man, which they literally established in Black Widow to where the Crimson Dynamo exists in the MCU, which was like, oh shit, that's awesome. That's awesome. That makes me so glad. That makes me so happy. We are establishing some Iron Man villains. And to be fair, I mean, who's going to be who's going to be the villains for the Armor Wars show? The Armor Wars show?
You can't use organized thing dead. Maybe his son, maybe?
No.
MCU.
That could happen too. I could actually believe that too. But I mean, here's what I believe. My biggest, I think this is going to be kind of a political to where it's going to be the Russians stealing technology from Iron Man, stealing Stark Tech and it's Iron Man's tech. Because when we see the first two Spider-Man films, Homecoming and Far From Home, they had the Iron Man suits. They had them. So that makes me think, are they building up to an Armor Wars? And we're going to have that whole direction? But yet again, I kind of push it off to where we can't have that anymore. The whole idea is kind of gone because Tony Stark's gone and there's no point to do it. Now there is, because now you can establish War Machine as a fucking character to take seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, the biggest crime and insulting down your fucking throat is to where War Machine is a joke. A fucking joke. I mean, I couldn't take seriously. I can't take seriously with that character. I just can't. Because, I mean, with War Machine, he's just a goofball or just a character that really nobody gives a shit about. I mean, to some degree, I personally feel like he could have been killed off in Civil War. Granted, he got killed off in Civil War 2.
The Bennett college.
Which I kind of feel like it's both good and bad at the same time on that book. But yet again, we'll talk about that fucking. We already talked about that ending. That's bullshit ending.
We kept them already killed. I know.
Oh, I'm like that is. I mean, granted, I mean there was even a what if. There was a what if scenario on the whole.
Yeah, and cut them off when they show it different realities.
And where different realities, which, and I'm just literally seeing. Oh yeah, Captain Marvel pretty much got defeated by Tony Stark, and she ultimately either got killed or put in a comatose state. And I'm just thinking, gee, that sounds something reality would have been making more sense to that whole thing. And the whole aspect of what should have happened.
Yeah.
But yet again, I mean, that's just how I say it.
What, you wish you were a stupid kid? I'm glad that you lived it. Dang, you just, what the fuck, kid? No one cares about this guy. You take your trip. Spidey did giant shit in that event. Wait a second. People did nothing in that event. I'm the part of the idiot.
He didn't really do nothing. He just sat, like, fun fact, I mean, like, out of Civil War 2, he didn't do shit in that entire event. Granted, when you look at Civil War 1, oh boy, that was some good shit right there. Oh man. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's just, I personally believe that they didn't want to do it because, or just the fact is the time was not there. I mean, there's a reason why, like my friend John said, there's probably a reason why a lot of these newer characters like Captain Falcon and Jane Foster Thor, Miss Marvel coming into the movies, coming into the shows, and we going forward with the multiverse is probably, I'll just go on further what he's saying, it's probably they knew the actors that we have now are not going to be here forever. We're going to have to we're going to have to replace them. Granted, I could argue they could easily on the Black Panther. They were probably going to do Shuri as Black Panther in the ending of Black Panther's trilogy.
Yeah.
But since the actor is gone and they don't want to take a risk on recasting a character, they're just going to kill him off screen and make the whole foundation of the character is gone. Therefore, the actor's gone. Therefore, the character's gone. We're going to go forward with this direction. Either love it or hate it.
Yep.
And granted, people would have liked. People would accept it. People would hate it. It's a lose situation. You're fucked regardless what happens. I mean, it's this is. I mean, I'm granted. I'm like, backlash is going to happen. Backlash is going to happen, regardless when anyone sells. But it's just, oh man. I mean, what's your thoughts on that, Tevia? Before we kill it.
Yeah. You know, what about actually like mitigating backlash on both sides? No one wins, and it's depressing.
It is depressing.
I don't know.
It is depressing. I'll just say this: it is depressing because I mean, you just look at it like, man, oh man, this sucks.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to see fucking this whole character get thrown on the wayside because he didn't get a proper trilogy. Mm-hmm. And you were so hoping this character would get a trilogy or even a better trilogy going forward, and you're thinking nothing. The movie is probably gonna. Hold on. YouTubers
like the Lion Black Panther franchise, of course. Well, I'm gonna have to probably go a minute when they do their videos.
Yeah. I mean, like, to be fair, could you also blame them? Chadwick Boseman's death really affected the Black Panther franchise. Yeah. Let's all face facts. Let's all face facts. The actor will affect that franchise.
Which wouldn't really be his fault because
it's not his fault, but it's the truth. I mean, granted, like yet again, I'm like, I mean, they'll try to make this bullshit excuse. Oh, Marvel tried to do the insulting route. No, Marvel. I'll say this: Marvel and Kevin Feige said, "We're not recasting him. We're going to pass the mantle. We're probably going to kill off Black Panther himself because it wouldn't make sense to have him just pass the mantle and not have him literally just exist because Black Panther said the Black Panther mantle has passed down to generation to warrior.
Yep.
That's when you establish that whole aspect of the Black Panther must die, therefore, to pass the mantle. And it's also a royalty aspect. His father was Black Panther and a king. Black Panther was a king and a Black Panther himself, King T'Challa. And his sister is a queen and therefore is a Black Panther. It's a royalty family tradition that is passed down to many generations to such a degree, but also it changes the narrative, changes everything, because you're practically starting all over with that character. And it sucks, but it's the truth. Yeah. And I think people are just not, and then I'll say this, people are dumb. People are stupid. First they hated George Lucas, and now they're loving the shit out of him.
How ironic.
Yeah, how ironic. He did prequel movies that were hated upon, and people said that kills Star Wars. Then they take everything back. Literally saying, "Oh no, we take everything back." Well, the sequel trilogy is bad, and pretty much they love it in the end. The same thing will happen with the sequel trilogy once the new Star Wars movies come, and it's just like I'm gonna be like, people are so stupid. People are dumb. People are gullible. People are just stupid because they don't understand, situations that a filmmaker aspect going forward. And, this is why I say YouTubers a lot of times are fake, because they would throw these goddamn agendas and they just glow upon just shit on something, and yet they don't understand it. I mean, yeah, the recent direction on Spider-Man, yeah, it's not the best. I'm not gonna say it's the greatest thing, but yet again, it's. I would rather trust
Sony bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, we did the Sony direction twice.
Which
would
failed.
You rather have a failure, rinse and repeat the same gullible crap that we did before? As much as I like Andrew Garfield with the whole Amazing Spider-Man, at least the first one, they killed that in fucking 10 times over. I mean, I looked at Amazing Spider-Man 2 as a spit in the face Oh yeah, yeah. Culture wars really started. Yeah, started.
Culture based on learning understanding is a null and void. Pretty sure institution will never be welcome nowadays for 2016. To be fair,
Yeah.
2016 was a good year for comics with DC. Marvel, questionable, but doesn't but you know what about the Culture War crap and what it was just flushing itself.
It's stupid. It's stupid. I mean, they say Marvel's done, but they'll go watch their recent movies. I mean, it's stupid.
Yeah,
It's
I
dumb.
don't get that logic.
I don't get that logic. I think that's stupid. I think that's dumb. And I honestly, personally feel like people are just so gullible and just trash that I really, 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 really do not like these people. That's why.
People
That's
don't
how.
understand the comic industry itself is a complete mess. That's the comic industry in a whole, not just Marvel or DC.
Yeah, I can agree with that statement as well, Debbie. You did make a good argument on that one. But I mean, when I look at the whole aspect of Black Panther, it's just he's ultimately wasted. That's the one part these haters are going to fuel that fire. He's going to be he's a character that was introduced. He had one movie. He was a part of the Avengers. The actor died. Therefore, we're going to kill him off and give it to his sister.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, we're not going to have that opportunity where we see him get married with Storm. We're not going to have him the opportunity to where he's going to be a part of the new Avengers. We're not going to have that opportunity to where he's a part of the Fantastic Four. Because originally he did appear in the Fantastic Four comics.
Yeah, he did.
That whole, and granted, at the time before he died, at the time Chadwick Boseman died, before he died, everyone thought, "Oh man, now we got X-Men. We can establish Storm. We can establish Fantastic Four. Man, it's gonna be great in the next 10 years or so." No.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Absolutely not. Never gonna happen. And it's just really it kills it. It just kills the enjoyment factor. Because now we are forced. It's not just like we have to end it. Here's the thing. It's not like a political statement where Ben Affleck doesn't want to come back, or none of the actors from Zack Snyder's cast want to come back to do another DC movie. No, you're ending a character because an actor that he played died, and therefore it kills the character because they never had an opportunity to explore what that character could have gone. And it really, don't be surprised, people saying the same thing what I'm talking about right now. You never had that character to explore what that character was originally intentioned to do. And I agree with some people, but I personally say, would you rather have an actor that would be 50-50 chance to be accepted upon? Now, granted, I already have an actor in mind, would have been a good candidate, but yet again, there's no way in hell I could see him fit that character. Or at least because I would want him to have his own version. Because this is the whole aspect of the multiverse that I'm going to go on the whole aspect. They know Marvel pretty much established the multiverse to pretty much easy solution to their problems. You're probably going to have another actor playing Iron Man after Secret Wars if they don't reboot the continuity. If they don't reboot the continuity and you have another actor playing Tony Stark, have another actor playing Thor and all these characters, you're going to have a continuity that stretches and have actors that play these characters and have easy to be accepted upon than anything else. You agree? 616, man. Did you hear that She-Hulk's going to have mutant characters in the movie, in the show? Since you're bringing up mutants, could fix the superhero explanation. Yeah, I agree. I mean, It would be
And can
interesting
only get
if
them
they.
and humans. Didn't even not get them by them. Forget them.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, granted, I wouldn't be surprised. Miss Marvel is an Inhuman or a mutant. I mean, we'll see how things go. I mean, it's going to be a very interesting time. That's why I'm looking forward. Besides Doctor Strange and Spider Verse and the Dragon Ball superhero movie that's coming, I'm
But my
looking.
home movie coming out this year, October. I'm looking for that movie. The
Wait, what?
new My Hero movie, the new anime movie coming out this year, October. Coming this October this year.
You kind of glitched out. You kind of glitched out. What are you saying?
The new My Hero Academia movie is
Which?
coming out this October.
Oh yeah, that movie. Yeah, I heard about
I'm so
that.
excited.
Which I'm also. I know you're very excited. I mean, granted, I still wish you could read the manga because the manga is very important to the future. But I mean, I get you're an anime only guy, but I mean, um, I'm not gonna lie, My Hero Academia has pushed a lot on that whole thing. I do
Yep.
like. I watched a portion of season one. I do like it. I'm not gonna say I don't think that show deserves the credit that it gets. It should get every credit that it deserves because there's a lot of similarities towards Spider-Man and Iron Man, towards
Mm-hmm.
All Might and Deku. There's a lot of similarities,
Yep.
and I just feel like it's going to be very interesting how All Might dies in the very end of that entire whole series. Granted, I really want All Might prequel series because I feel like there should have been the before the Heroes 2. Yeah, nobody cares. Yeah, nobody cares about the Inhumans. Yeah, I agree.
I
The,
think John actually got a shot to do good. 50 on that one.
yeah, I think Eternals will be just fine. The only
Yeah.
problem is it's going to be the same. This is the problem that people are going to have with the Eternals, with the X-Men, and that's it. And that's really well, you could say a little bit of Blade, but yet again, how the
Yep.
Blade would have known the whole thing that's going on right now. With the Eternals, they knew what was going on, and they didn't do jack shit. And therefore, there's a little bit of hatred when I see people talk about Eternals, because when you look at Eternals, it just there's a lot of hatred towards like you didn't do jack squat when the Avengers needed you. Or
Yep.
granted, I mean like they're not. They promised themselves they would not interfere mankind's bullshit,
Yeah.
and yet there are because no one else is doing it. And also a bigger threat that really is in their level, they need to go stop. And which honestly, it's very religious aspect because I'm just gonna go a little bit of religion to an extent. If the gods that help mankind to such a degree help them to evolve to what we are right now, to pretty much they wouldn't interfere unless there's a global universe threat that will attack their planet that they're sitting on, which I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. But yeah, again, that's just my own conspiracy theory on let's say that my own opinion on a higher being that helped mankind to such a degree, and it just kind of shows you in the recent trailer of the Eternals that there are gods that helped
The
mankind,
Celestials.
and yeah, the Celestials, which was very much interested in how they do how they go forward with that whole direction, and just everything. They just need to retcon everything to the new.
Added that they want job with the new character because Okinawan history so it could convolute cluster.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. I get where you're coming from. Granted, it's going to be a big question. Where was the X-Men this entire time? That's going to be my biggest question. I mean, I'm dying. Because I'm like, you're going to have to establish, if you don't bring in the X-Men from the Fox universe, oh boy, you better have a good argument on how this entire time Professor X and Magneto didn't do shit during the events of the entire Infinity Gauntlet saga. I mean, I really, that something would bother me. The Eternals, I can let it slide because they established themselves. They wouldn't interfere with mankind. With the mutants, you better have a good reason. Because if you don't, you will have a hatred on people's argument or a massive complaining to where you're telling me you do what you got to do. You're doing your own little bullshit, and yet you didn't have the bullshit. What was going on with the Avengers? You didn't hear about them, or you didn't pretty much got erased to such a degree that all that's gonna be a very big question. But granted, I always feel like if they do what I think they're going to do, the mutant aspect of, they'll probably establish two things: Apocalypse as the first mutant, and they'll also establish the military was trying to resurrect the super soldier experiment, therefore pretty much doing the Weapon X factor, and they stealing other mutants, aka Wolverine, was your first contender to be the next super soldier, which they technically did that whole Black Captain America, which was really cool. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you, 616. No, I agree. I agree. Totally what you're saying. I totally what you. I totally agree. I mean, granted, I mean, it's going to be a very good time, and I really want them to wear heavily inspired by the 90s aspect of their X-Men costumes. I want that Wolverine costume. Bring that Wolverine costume. And also just, and that's another thing too. If they bring Hugh Jackman back and just establish this is the Hugh Jackman, and he has, let's say, two costumes. He has the brown-ish gold costume that he wore in the 80s, and his latest costume is that the yellow and black or yellow and blue costume, which honestly would be great. And also he has two kids. The ultimate kid, who was the ultimate Wolverine?
Jimmy Hudson.
Jimmy Hudson and X-23. You could have that whole aspect where he got married by Laura Kenny's mother and pretty much produced two kids going forward, and they've been living their lives, and pretty much everything goes forward. And then you could kind of establish what happened during the time period during the Avengers Infinity War. Wolverine's the only explanation on I know. He's the character that should have been one of the main taken seriously on. I really look at him as a missed opportunity. I really feel like he could have been a really cool character. I really like him. I like him more than Dakin because he's a terrible. Like, I hate Dakin. I really hate that character. It's over time he got better. X-Men is bigger than the X-Men's bigger than the Avengers. I could straight out agree with that statement because there's history. In between the
Bro, this has to be off. I don't know why it's on.
Okay. Huh?
What the fuck?
You see him?
Son of a bitch.
Ah, shit, connection issues. That's not good.
You there? Hello.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Goddamn fucking hell.
I'm here.
Apparently something happened to where I'm like, Jesus Christ. I'll just kind of end this video because I mean it's getting a little too long.
Yeah, I
But yeah,
noticed.
I agree with your saying 616. I definitely do because I mean you could have not just in popularity, but it's just there's so much things you have. Like I mean, for me, there's a lot more. I'll just say it's just going on merchandise and everything. Cartoons, you don't have a cartoon now in the X-Men. I mean, the last cartoon we had was Wolverine the X-Men.
Wolverine actually was very good.
But yet again, we're judging on everything. We have a lot of toys on X-Men that's centered around the 90s aspect or a little bit of the 80s. Some on current comics right now, but it's centered around the 90s, especially X-Force and X-Factor and New Mutants and everything between all that crap. There's a lot of merchandise. Hell, in the first Marvel superhero Lego game, they feature the 90s aspect of the X-Men because that was the best time on that whole thing. You had a cartoon, you had toys, you had comics that had the costumes of the characters that it represented.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, it linked the show and also a little bit of the toys aspect to where, oh wow, it fit in one basket. And that was the best timing on X-Men. So therefore, I just feel like with X-Men, yeah, it's a big franchise, and also just not just on toys, but also video games as well, because the video games had the same costumes as well. So I'm really hoping that they do something to where they represent the 90s outfits. And also I want Cyclops to just absolutely done right. Make him be the leader. Push Wolverine over the side. I mean, I really just want that. I mean, if you ask me, I would have the first trilogy to have no Wolverine. Because let's all face facts. Every time there's in the Fox movies, really the only reason why these X-Men movies were successful was mainly Wolverine.
And
They
Magneto.
Yeah, and yeah, I know that, but mainly it's Wolverine. Wolverine is a very much such a beloved character that they made him to be the star of the X-Men franchise. They killed every opportunity that they had just to spite what the cash in. So they killed everything. Now, granted, you could make somewhat of an argument on Iron Man, but yet again, at least with the Avengers, you had each character had their opportunity. Captain America was a bit of the leader to an extent. Iron Man was a bit of the leader. The only problem I always felt like Thor never really had the opportunity to be a leader. And I always felt like Thor was a good leader in the Avengers comics because, I read the Silver Age Avengers comics to where during the time period when Captain America was not in the Avengers, Thor and Iron Man were the leaders of the team, mainly Thor, but it's just, yet again, Iron Man always kind of intervened or always was a team player for Thor. It's a bit of a direction I really liked about the Avengers, but I mean, you had the Avengers truly shine in the movies, and you show what was the conflict between Steve and Tony. You never had that conflict between Cyclops and Wolverine. Never. There was, there may be some debates that they had in X-Men 2 or X-Men 3 to an extent, but you never have them.
You get killed off.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway. We'll see how things go. I'm going to call it a day. I'm gonna do some videos on Spawn,
Empire
and
Onslaught.
yeah, yeah. We'll see how things go. And also another thing is like, who knows? Onslaught could be a future villain for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Who knows? But yet again, I look at it like fan service for X-Men fans, but that's just me. But anyway, I'll see you guys later. Tell me your thoughts down below on what's your thoughts on everything what we talked about, and we'll see you guys next time. I'll bring my friend John in a proper manner when I get the extension cord back, or whenever Friday hits, or whichever, or hell, even his channel. I'll see you guys later.